businesswoman, and as well as a person that coach business. And we want to make sure that you get good attention to what you got to say for us today. Thank you, Lily. Appreciate you. So you are.
Thank, thank you, Sam. And thanks, Amp, for what you had to say. I didn't know about your business, and so I'm happy to hear it. And now I want to know what rooftop marketing is and why it's called that. Um, so, hi, my name is Lily, and I am a coach. I coach leaders, and I support them. I support leaders who work in social and environmental impact work, and I support them to be more effective and have more fun along the way, not burn out, all of those things that that happen when you really care about what you do and put all of your time and energy into it. So I I'm not sure where you all are in your journey along business development and turning in your passion into business. So hopefully, what I have to say, regardless of whether you have started already or not, can support you along the way. So I'm an unlikely entrepreneur. I never had a dream to own my own business. I come from Bulgaria, which is was a communist country when I was growing up, and so there was no free enterprise there. There was no examples of what it looked like to be an entrepreneur there. And after communism ended, my parents, like a lot of people, were left without work, and my mom tried to start her own business and failed and lost some money. So my parents were not exactly the people who would recommend that I go out to start my own business. And then we're also immigrants, right? We came to the US when my parents were in their 50s, and for them it was a big deal. It was so important to have security and safety, and you can have fun on nights and weekends, but during the week you work hard and you do something that's safe and secure. And so I did. I became an aerospace engineer. I had a pretty successful career in that field. And at some point, I realized that it was not where my passion lay. I did not get the joy and meaning that I really wanted to in my work. And I didn't know what else I wanted to go do. So it was hard to be like, yeah, I'm going to go do it when I didn't know what that was. And I also do have a lot of passions. So I had no idea how I could possibly tie all of those things into something that looked like something safe and secure, like what my parents had always taught me I should want. And yet, on the other side of it, I am now, I have been in this new career for 5 years, and I I make a great living. I have so much more flexibility to make my own schedule. Hannah and I were talking before we started about a vacation gone wrong a couple of weeks ago, but I get to say when vacation is and what it isn't. And I also have the meaning and joy from getting to support people that I always wanted. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you about today, I thought about what are some of the ingredients that have supported me into turning my passion into a business. And one of those things for me, and I think for everyone, all of the clients that I talk to, is courage. And I don't think that we could talk about courage without talking about fear. To me, courage is not the absence of fear. It's actually taking fear by the arm and walking alongside it and doing things anyway. And so I spend all day, every day, talking to my clients about the things that they're afraid of and what that holds them back from. And I want to first of all say that fear is so normal. It's expected. Just expect that it will happen. If you're going outside of your comfort zone, you are going to be scared. And it might not look like I am scared and like, a car is about to hit you. It might actually look in very different ways. For me, my fear showed up in ways like not having any idea of what I wanted to do. And because I didn't have an idea, I was like, well, I'm not going to do it. Or it could look like just saying a different way and just having a really limited belief system around that. So when I was leaving the aerospace industry, I shared authentically with people that I didn't know what I wanted to go do, but I was going to go find out. And people, maybe because I was authentically and transparent about how little I knew, people came up to me and started telling me their dreams that were outside of aerospace. And it was fascinating. But the thing that it was, the thread that went through all of them was, but I can't. I would really love to go be a professor and go do this, but I can't. Why can't you? Oh, well, the mortgage, the kids, the whatever. And it's just that same way. That's a way that fear shows up where we don't even know we're scared. It's just like, oh, that's just the way it is. So expect fear and be willing to take risks. You have to take a leap to be a business owner. And so, and you have to be able to take a leap and know that you can just take steps. You can't know how it's going to go. You can't plan it all out ahead of time. You can try, but you won't be successful. And you still have to start just taking steps and trust that when you take a step and something happens, you're going to know what the next step is and you're going to be able to react. So the only other thing I'll say around courage is one of my favorite quotes is by a French philosopher called André Gide. And he says that one does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore. And I love that. So be willing to to lose sight of the shore. Be willing to go explore and see what happens. The next thing that I think is very important, and depending on where you are in your business, you might have already done this, is really tuning into what you're passionate about and creating a vision. Start by getting clear what you're passionate about. In my first conversations with people are often, I ask them what they want to create for themselves, and especially people who are thinking about what is the meaningful thing that they want to do, what is their passion. They talk about, oh, I really want to help people. That's great. And how do you want to help people? What is your flavor of helping people? What are the qualities that you would want for yourself in your business and for your community? How do you want to support people? Is it by having expertise in a certain area? Is it by I don't know. I'm making it up, and just get really clear on what your passions are. And for people like me who didn't know what that was, I started with what I didn't want in my work. I was pretty clear on what hadn't worked for me in corporate America. So I just started there. I was like, okay, these are the things I don't want. And from there, I could actually look at the other side. And get some ideas. The other thing that really helped me in when I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go is I took the experiences that I had throughout my life that filled me up, that I knew I was so passionate about, and I thought about those moments where everything was in flow and I was connected, and most of those were not in my work, which says something. But all of them, I wrote them all out and I looked for the common thread between them. And when I did that, I realized that for me, creating and facilitating transformative experiences for people was what really jazzes me up. I had been in aerospace because I I have one of my passions is space and space travel. But really, at the end of the day, I'm not passionate about products. I'm passionate about people. And so looking at those experiences had me really like pull out the thread of what is it that I want to do, and go from there. And also around this, create a big vision, create a much bigger vision than you think is possible for you. Really, what do you want it? Like outside of fear, if everything was possible within the realm of physics, what would you create? And just start taking the small steps, because it will not be there immediately, but think big. And then from there, surround yourself with people who will support your vision. And pick wisely. I don't know how else to say that other than pick wisely. Not everybody will be the right person to surround yourself with. And sometimes some of your closest people, some of the people that love you most, will be most scared and will have negative reactions to what your big dreams. And that's because they care about you and they want you to be safe and they want you to be okay. And for me, my parents were those people. My parents, I told them multiple times that I was leaving aerospace. I told them multiple times that I wanted to start my business, and they kept forgetting these conversations because they thought I was crazy. And the thing was that their fears and the way that their fears were not like, oh, we're scared for you because we care. They would say, these are all the reasons why you're crazy and you should not do this. Welcome to Bulgarian families. But their fears were my fears. Their fears were the things that I was afraid of, and I didn't need any more external validation for all of the fears and all of the inner critic, everything that the inner critic had to say. So instead, I talked less to them, and I talked to all the people who actually believed that I could go do something different, all the people who had ideas for me, all the people who were really excited for me making a change. And so create that for yourself. Create whether you want to call it your squad or your personal board of directors. Create those people in your life that you can call every time you get scared, every time you don't know what to do next. And also for me, I actually hired a coach. Before I knew that I wanted to be a coach, I hired a coach to support me around looking at what the next steps are. So sometimes somebody who's outside of your circle can be a really great sounding board for you and can show you things that along working for yourself that others can't. So whether it's you find a coach or find many mentors or whatever, surround yourself with those people that will really support you. And then from there, this one is simple, but we so often forget it. Say yes to opportunities. Be curious. Even if you don't know what's going to come out from something, just say yes. You never know where it's going to lead you. Meet new people, share your dream, share what you want to create, see what they have to say, right? What they might have an idea for you. Or I'll tell you a story about one of the ways that saying yes led me to where I am today. And while I was still in my aerospace career and I was paying attention to the things that really got me jazzed, I took a one-day emotional intelligence class and I loved it. And I went in a break to one of the instructors and said, how did you get to do this? I might not want to be here forever. And he invited me to talk to him offline. We talked. In that conversation, he invited me to go and observe one of his events. I said yes. I went, and instead of introducing me as a random observer, he introduced me as a fellow facilitator and told me privately that, if I want to jump in and facilitate, I should go for it. And I thought he was crazy. but I jumped in and I facilitated. And at the end of the weekend, he said, "You're really good at this. You're a natural. So if you want to do more of this, let me know." And I was like, "Yes, I want to do more of this." And so as I left my career, I actually started working part-time with him and realized just how much I loved that work. And that led me, he became a mentor to me. He was the person when I thought that I wanted to become a counselor. He was like, "What about coaching? Maybe you would be a great coach." And so there were so many things that came out of me just going up to him and being like, "How did you get to do this?" I couldn't have told you that at the time. There was no way to map that out. But say yes to opportunities. So there's only so much I can share with you in 15 minutes. And so I'm not going to try to share anymore. I'll just leave you with this. It's been a weird year, to say the least. In this time of pandemic, there's so much pain, there's so much suffering, there's so much fear, and there's so much uncertainty. And so first of all, take care of yourselves. Really take care of yourselves emotionally and mentally and physically and spiritually and in all the ways, because without taking care of yourself, your business, you can't take care of anybody else or your business, and you can't nurture your passion. So take care of yourselves, and then know that this time is also a time of opportunities, because everything is upside down and it's so strange, but there's lots of opportunities in this time. So just take some risks and create the career that you want from this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily.